Hello everybody, GWS here, to briefly report on a conversation that I had with a particular Twitter user. I'll be brief because there's not a lot to this, mainly because he blocked me. Of course, naturally, so I'm going to have to narrate the conversation for myself. This is the, if I close this out, this is the conversation between myself and a user named Cowicide. It started with this. Could you guys please tell me why Justice Dems filed as a super PAC when they say they're not taking corporate and billionaire money? Which I am referring to the FEC filing, which I had here. I've been posting links to it in response. And let's go to page 5 here, to be more specific, because they won't let you link directly to it. So I'm going to be posting this on Twitter, so for those of you watching, here it is. Let me zoom this in. This is the declaration by Justice Democrats that they are a super PAC. They're called a carry PAC. Carry PAC, carry versus the FEC. This committee intends to establish a separate bank account to deposit and withdraw funds raised in, you see the typo, so this is personal, on limited amounts from individuals, corporations, labor organizations, and or other political committees. So, yes, they filed as a super PAC. So, okay, he had the token excuse from Justice Democrats. It was for convenience, so that TYT can offer office space, promotions, things considered political donations. Now, the key thing is, Cowicide, when responding to this, said, quote, this is a direct quote, Justice Democrats are a hybrid PAC. That is a direct quote. Now, if that explanation, okay, there's a problem with that explanation. They're not a hybrid PAC. So let's go to this one. Now, keep in mind, the dates are important. I went over this in detail in another video, but I'm doing this for documentation purposes here. They filed on January the 9th with the FEC. And here's this interesting miscellaneous report to the FEC on 1/31. This is 22 days, barely 3 weeks after they filed as a super PAC. Let's look at what this says. This says, this submission is to inform the Commission that the committee no longer intends to operate as a carry PAC and will only maintain regular federal accounts subject to the prohibitions and limitations of the Act. So, what this is saying is, they filed on January the 9th as a super PAC. They removed that specification, and you could see here, this is you'd have to look up the definitions. I'm not gonna Google hunt and peck that, but it's the committee designation is an unauthorized regular PAC, which is non-party, non-qualified. What this means is that they're supporting multiple candidates. They're not just supporting one candidate. So they're just a regular PAC. They are not a hybrid PAC. They removed that designation. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you're offering office space, promotions, etc., and that has to fall under super PAC rules, and you have to be flexible, why did they remove the hybrid PAC designation? Because if that was the optimal setup for the situation where they're promoting candidates using the media, why would they remove the designation on 1/31? What seems to have happened is you had people digging into the FEC to find this out. They came up with an ad hoc explanation. Somebody told them that they were a hybrid PAC, but the person who looked up that they were a hybrid PAC, they looked up the statement of organization. They didn't bother to look up the other filings, as I did. And so they came up with the ad hoc explanation, yeah, we're doing this for promotional reasons. So why file on 1/9 and then remove on 1/31? So Then let's go through some of these other ones. Did I lose it? I just go to my regular Twitter, get off of analytics. I just like to look at my views, my 2 views. Okay, let's see if I can get back to my tweets here. Okay, now here's Calcite just blocked me. Now here's a lot of our exchange. Let's go back to the beginning of this. This went on for quite a while, as you can see. Let's see, where's the... Okay, here we go. Alright, and then... Okay, I told him his explanation doesn't fly. And then he starts using ad hominems about my username, mostly. And then he starts asking for proof. And then it's just the back, you know, like, why are you gonna lie to me about that? And then that's when I got blocked. He links also to, yeah, this is where he says that all donations are public. This is another Justice Democrats front. They say, go to the FEC and look if you want to find out our transparent, if you want to find out where our donations are coming from. Okay. Let's look at this. We do not have any financial data for Justice Democrats 2017-2018. Total spent, same thing. We do not have financial data. Cash summary. What are they spending their money on? Can't find anything. Raising, cannot find anything. Spending, cannot find anything. There is nothing here. So here's total disbursements, independent disbursements, nothing. So they purposefully lead you here. And then see, I posted this to him because he said all disclosures are public. And then I post, no, the donors are not public. This is a financial record. So there's that. And then we get into a little back and forth about rhetoric. And he starts calling me another denier again. Yada, yada. You know, it's... Here's the thing about that too, guys. You know, we disagree on policy, but here's the thing. I'm doing this to let you know. That was my whole goal with this. That's why I did not respond to the comments about being a skeptic of climate change. You know, we can get into that discussion as a separate discussion, but he was trying to muddy the waters of the conversation, trying to get me to chase a smelly red herring, and I wasn't going to do it. But it doesn't mean anything, because you guys signing up for Justice Democrats, you are the ones who want the corruption out. And a lot of you, I'm sure, are genuine. Genuine young people who want an honest movement that supports their ideas, that supports their platform. I'm fine with that. I'm not a progressive. I probably disagree with you on everything. But it's not about me. This is about you guys and what you're for and what people say they are for. They're lying to you. This is how corrupt organizations form. They get people behind them, take advantage of their anger, and what happens? You will support Justice Democrats despite the... Justice Democrats are no different. Yeah, your establishment Democrats are bad, but Justice Democrats are no better. If you guys want good, solid material, if you want a movement to get behind that supports your ideas, then you guys should really be supporting the Green Party. This Justice Democrats are not for you. When you see them repeating this stuff, just think about it. Are they telling you the truth? I'm not asking you to believe me. Just look at all the documentation, all of it. Even their amendments. Their amendments aren't important, but I encourage you to read them. I encourage you to go to the FEC and see that there's nothing on them. And then, you know, it's not to say you shouldn't join Justice Democrats, but understand this. If you're going to be part of such a group, you guys need to start making demands. You need to start demanding of them what you're demanding of everybody else. Transparency, sticking to principles, and don't... Here's another thing I posted to them too. You know, you're talking about being a grassroots movement. Why are you going to accept Ro Khanna? Let's look at Ro Khanna's record, why don't we? Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I've posted this on my channel again, but I'm going to do it for more documentation purposes. 96% of all donations between 2017 and 2018 were large individual donations, and I believe in 2016 it's even worse. 99% in 2016, over $3.5 million in 2016. And where's he getting his money from? Where are these contributions coming from? Securities and investment. 718,000. That is almost half. Almost half. Securities and investment. What do you think of security when you think of securities and investment? You think of the housing crisis in 2008. Isn't this the thing you guys are trying to avoid? Securities and investment. Remember the mortgage-backed securities, subprime mortgages, all that? This is where that comes from. And let's look at it by category. Finance, insurance, real estate, $945,000. More than half of his total contribution. And keep in mind, where does he live? He lives Silicon Valley. You would think, okay, communications, electronics, all the techs should be behind him, right? No, it's less than half. Less than half of what finance, insurance, and real estate pays. And then here's other, that's education. We can have a separate topic about that. But my point is, you're supporting a group that's saying one thing and doing nothing. They're running people in Republican districts who aren't going to win an election, and they're not getting serious money. Look at the rallies of people like the one that's running in West Virginia. I wish I could remember her name. But, see, that tells you a lot there. It's like they're running the small town candidates who don't have a lot of money, who don't have a lot of resources, don't have any name recognition. They're running them as a publicity stunt to advance, not the candidates themselves. They're probably, you know, God bless their hearts, they're probably not going to be seen again. But they're running them as a type of PR campaign. This is to get the foot in the door. This is how all groups do it. They present themselves as a grassroots movement, try to grow. This is how Tea Party did it, by the way, too, on the right. This isn't just against the left. The Tea Party did this, too. You know, present yourself as a grassroots movement, move up, and then you take all the money, and then you start cuddling up to the establishment. This is what is going to happen. This is what this movement is. This is a left-wing Tea Party movement, and it is not legitimate. And the sooner you guys start realizing that, the better you'll be for it. So, let me just record this full conversation just so you guys could see it one more time. I'm not going to read it back to you or anything, but I just want to make sure you guys know the full thing, what's going on, because unlike some other people. I'm not going to leave out the parts I don't like. Just, this is where mine starts. I'm not going to leave out the parts I don't like, just to make myself sound good. There's actually more to this than that, but a lot of it's his responses. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and post this video. I'll have it up on Twitter. Thanks for listening, guys. God bless.